Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be reviewing the latest Doctor Who 5-inch collector set, and this time it is the Time of the Doctor collector set, which has just been released over here in England. I do believe it's been out in Australia and America now for at least a month, so it's nice to finally see this over in England's Forbidden Planet stores. So yeah, the box itself is rather nice, and let's take a look at it in more detail. But going to the bottom first, we have the 11th Doctor's dates, 2010 to 2013, with the BBC and American safety sticker, with the Time of the Doctor collector set and the Underground Toys logo. This is all displayed on this rather nice varnished box, which has got the TARDIS doors on, but we do have these include stickers slapped all over it, just so you remember what you've gone and paid £30 for. So you have plus walking cane and handles accessories, and then we also have includes the 11th Doctor in purple frock coat, with aged and 12th Doctor's swappable heads, 50th anniversary logo. This then opens to reveal the product inside. This is actually rather nicely displayed with all of the products there, nicely scattered around the Doctors, so every single one of them is on view. So if you choose to display this in its box, it's rather nicely done. We have the image itself of the TARDIS continued, and then we have on this side of the door the 11th Doctor's dates and things with a bit of explanation about the Doctor, and a picture about him before he regenerated. And then on this side we have the 12th Doctor's dates, which this time of course is 2013 to a mysterious date that nobody knows, which will hopefully be about 4 years in the future, because Capaldi is here to stay. And then we have a rather constipated, shocked look of Capaldi there. Then we have this rather ugly Velcro look, which I really don't like that much. I much would have rathered the Velcro at the top here to also be like that at the bottom, just so it doesn't look that messy. Taking a look at the back, we have rather the same layout as normal, with the Doctor Who 50th anniversary logo, picture of Matt Smith, we have a picture of all of the alliances around the Trenzalore sort of thing, and then we have a bit of a description about the Time of the Doctor itself. Along the bottom, we have a line of the Doctor's dates with the 11th Doctor one highlighted, but I find it quite annoying that we don't just have a little line there that goes on to the 12th Doctor era. And then at the bottom there, we just have the Underground Toys logo and things like that. Taking a look at the sides, we have a picture of the aged Doctor there with the same layout as normal, and on the other side we have a lovely picture of handles, and then company information on the bottom, nicely hidden, and just the Doctor Who 50th anniversary logo at the top. So yeah, at the end of the day, this is actually quite a nice box. Does display the figures quite well with the TARDIS background and things, but is it worth the money? I don't know. So yeah, now let's take a look at the products itself. Oh look, it's Matt Smith. What a coincidence to see you here. So yeah, Matt Smith does actually come with quite a lot of things, including corpses of dead people. So yeah, we'll take them out, they're scaring the children. So yeah, here is the actual figure. The figure itself is obviously based off his costume as seen in Series 7 Part 2, and I believe a little bit of Time of the Doctor, because he did wear sort of a bit of a mashup costume throughout this episode, as I did actually watch it last night in spirit of this review. So yeah, here is the actual figure. He's really actually well done. This is his standard version, just to make him look like Matt Smith in his standard form without acting like all old and things. So first, taking a look at the body, we have the coat that's been really nicely done. I really do like the way that Character Options make the coats on these figures, as they always get the texture and things really well done, as we have a lot of different bits of purpley textures in there, and I do believe a bit of a light wash of purple on the lower sections here, just to create a bit of depth on the costume. As you can see, we do have the collars nicely done, with a few little lines where the buttons would go, and we do also have the rather nice detailing there of the collar of the coat nicely done. It does look rather furry, and then on the back there we can just see a few stitching lines and things, which is really nicely done. Taking a look at the front, we have the waistcoat itself. This is actually a removable piece, which I'll come on to later, and we have his bow tie there. The bow tie has been really nicely done. Of course, that does have a lot of patterning on in the actual episode itself. It's like purple with different lines all over it, but they've replicated it fairly well just with the little white dots on there. The shirt itself he's wearing is a light blue colour with a little white button there, very nice. Taking a look at the waistcoat, this has been really well done and really puts the figure together quite well. We have the blackish waistcoat there, sort of blacky grey. The buttons are all fastened, and then at the very bottom there, we have the little fob and chain with the nice little patterning on there. And in the light, it does sort of look like that does have a bit of Gallifreyan text on, but I think that's just the patterning of the actual paint on the watch itself. But even though I do like to think that it's got some Gallifreyan text on, Taking a look at the legs now, these are exactly the same sculpt as seen on most Matt Smith figures, so yeah, exactly the same detailing, with the creases and lines in there, very nicely done. Boots have actually been changed on this figure. Well, they are exactly the same sculpt, but the paint application has been changed. We do have this time some brown paint on, and then we do have these grey stripes on either shoe, as you can see, just to sort of replicate, I believe, the battered look, or even just the way his shoes were in the actual episode. As always, the trousers themselves do have a lot of different creases on. Onto the arms now, as you can see, these follow the exact same texture as that's seen on the coat, with the very nice purple effect on there. And we do have the additions of the purple shirt there peeping out the bottom, which is really nice. The hands are standard and do feature the sonic screwdriver holding hand, which is rather nicely done. Bit flimsy, and then the other hand has been done in just this standard open palm position, which I do believe that's meant to hold his little Cyberman friend handles, but as it is quite flimsy, it doesn't really do it that well. The likeness is okay. This is based off the Series 6 Flesh Wave sculpt, which I do believe we've seen a few times, but not as much as the Series 5 one with the floppy curly bit at the front. But yeah, this one does seem to be sort of improved from the last edition, which the paint apps do seem to have been changed. As you can see, we do have obviously the eyes, very nicely done. Most of them in the shop were quite lazy. Well, the left eye did have quite a lot of lazy-eyedness on them, so yeah, I would actually recommend going into the shop and buying this yourself, otherwise you might end up with one looking that just looks like it's rather suspicious of something. So yeah, mine did turn out quite okay. Thank God the manager reserved me two that fairly looked quite normal. Hair is the standard character options hair, which has been really well done with the different textures and detailing in there. As you can see, we do have the sort of the bit at the front here. This does actually seem to be a bit more flimsy than the Series 6 version for some reason, but yeah, as you can see, we do have the same standard Matt Smith hair sculpt of the light and browns in there, and they're very nice hairlines, so as you can see, it splits at the side and things. Doing a comparison with the Flesh Wave counterpart, as you can see, the paint application is a bit in between the two. I do quite like the Flesh Wave Doctor, just generically the costume itself, but I do think that the paint apps on the face are a little bit sloppy in places, but the time of the Doctor set does seem to sort of make it look a bit more actually compact to the face, which I do like. But Matt Smith-wise, I do think they sort of struggle with the likeness of Matt Smith, but as I said, it is undeniably Matt Smith anyway. So they have done fairly well on the face. Moving on to articulation now, quite standard for what we've seen in the past years for the character options figures. So we do have a ball joint at the arm. I would be careful though, as this bit is fairly weak, as you do put a lot of pressure on this top part. But yeah, we have ball joint, which means it can move all over. And then we have 360 at the upper arm, bend at the elbow, and then we have 360 at the wrists, in case you want to dislocate him. This can move up and down, side to side. You can nod, how lovely. It is removable, so that means that you can sort of display him with a few more display options, looking down and things, which I do like the thing with the removable heads. Taking a look under, we do have waist articulation, very nice, and then we do also have upper leg articulation, and he can bend at the knee. We don't have no boot articulation, as there wasn't any in the original sculpt from Series 5. So yeah, overall for articulation, it's what to expect for these figures really, but it is overall very good. So, as with law with the character options figures, it is illegal for a 11th Doctor figure to come without his sonic screwdriver. This is no exception and does actually contain the same sculpt as the Impossible set version, which is an open claw version as with last time, but the claws do seem to be a little bit bigger. And as these sonic screwdrivers progress, the paint application does seem to be getting better and better. But as you look on camera, it does tend to look a little bit sloppy, but in the actual flesh it does look alright. So you can tell what it's meant to be, and it goes in his hand quite well. Taking a look at the main attraction of the set for me, literally I paid 30 quid for this guy. This is Handles. We have our Handles, everybody. So yeah, this is his trusty friend, and no doubt probably the longest running companion of the whole series technically. So this is rather well done, and this is the first ever sculpt to see a Nightmare in Silver on Wood's Death in Heaven stroke head, which is a part of the new Cybermen line. So this has been really well done actually. Does it sort of raise the chance of getting a 5-inch Cyberman from the new series? Maybe, I don't know. But all because we have the head, it doesn't mean it can also grow arms and stuff, you know. But yeah, the head itself, really well done. This is, of course, been made to look all rustified and things. Not Dalek rusty, this is handles. So yeah, we've got some nice different bits of plating on here. Taking a look at the panels and things, you do have the wires on the head and things where it's been split off. And there isn't actually the blue on this piece, as you can see, which that is because I'm guessing this is when Candle sort of died, unfortunately. And but when he is alive, he does have some little blue bits and things in there, and a little red dot in his eye. My eyes do actually seem to be on this figure a bit smaller than the actual paint, which I don't actually mind. I do like the little knots and things in the face and the brown. It's just really well done, and this is sort of up there with accessories like the Moment, which I do really like. Taking a look at the neck itself, we have the neck piece, which has sort of been ripped apart, and then we have the wires. I do like the way the wires are all separate pieces and things, even though they can't exactly be displayed in any way. It's just nice to sort of have them as separate pieces in different lengths. So you do have different bits of detailing on them with browns and silvers and rust. Moving on to displaying handles with his Doctor, I tend to display it like this at the moment, sort of putting the head between the actual body, because I do find it's quite hard to actually display it in his hand and like he's holding it properly as seen on the back of the box. But yeah, he does tend to look really good with his companion. Of course, his sonic screwdriver can go into there quite well. He does tend to actually slip with his sonic, but oh well, there you are. He looks really good and ready for action. Doing the changes between heads on this figure is really quite simple. All you need to do is stretch back the arms, and then this then allows you to move back the coat. Then once you've done this, remove the Matt Smith head, take off the nicely done waistcoat, which has been made out of a PVC, so it is quite flimsy, and then put the new one in place. Once you've done this, put the coat back to normal, and then fit in the back piece on the coat into the waistcoat itself. This then will hopefully fix into place, and then you can then put on your Peter Capaldi, completing the regeneration and the new figure look. The head itself is really nice and does have a lot of different bits of detailing on, including the eyebrows, which have kept the same 3.75 wave sculpt really, with one being raised, which I do quite like that, I think. It is quite a nice comedic effect, I think. But yeah, I do think it does not really suit his sort of stern style of Doctor. He is smiling and things, so the creases around his mouth have been really well done also. The hair itself, they still haven't got right, even on the 3.75 ones. Needs to be a few more greys in there, sorry Capaldi. Of creasing in there on the face, but I do think the wrinkles could have been done a little bit more, maybe on the forehead and the eyes, maybe, I don't know, but he just looks a bit too young. I'm sorry, but he does look a little bit too young, but overall, I do prefer this head a little bit more than the Matt Smith one, because I do think it includes a lot of different bits of detailing in there, and obviously it's Capaldi, isn't it? Other addition is the swappable waistcoat, which as you can see, does come on sort of a PVC thing. This is the one that I've shown you earlier. As you can see, it does come with the different holes there which connect the coat to the body. And then this does actually, unlike Bracewell, it's a full loop around the head, so we don't have that awkward collar piece around the back. But yeah, the addition of this is basically without the bow tie, as he does take it off before he regenerates. Yeah, but for some reason, the collar is perfectly intact, just saying. I think it would have been nice if they'd just a little bit curled up or something, or tried to make it curl over the jacket, just make it look a little bit more messy. But yeah, we do have the top one, which is undone, as you can see. The white button there is still nicely fastened, but we do have the piece that's undone at the top there. But it doesn't actually seem to be undone. That's my other issue. We have an undone button, but the jacket itself does seem to be up to the very top, which I don't understand. But yeah, it is a nice addition nevertheless, and I do like the variations of that. And if you want to spend another £30 and have both of them on their shelf, yeah, I think that's what they're getting at with this set, I'll be honest. But yeah, overall, there you are. It's Peter Capaldi from Deep Breath. He's died. Now, for the next swappable head, I'm going to need the help of this 11th Doctor from the Impossible set. Now, I did say that in the review of that this figure will be returning, because he does have a removable head, as I did believe say in the review. So yeah, this does remove to be able to include this, which is the older Doctor head, which is absolutely amazing. So yeah, popping this on, it's pointless putting it on the other body, really, because it doesn't really look right. But yeah, just sliding this on, that's handles. I didn't see that. I can't see because the camera's in the way, so I just picked up a random lump. So yeah, there he is, and then he also comes with his walking stick. Okay, so here we are. This is the walking stick, rather generic, it's a walking stick, there you are. It's just, it's been sort of well done, it's got a little stud at the bottom there, which nicely makes it stand when it's in his hand. But yeah, we do have a bit of detailing on there with the black and things, but it's just a walking stick at the end of the day. And this does fit in his hand there, and he can threaten people with it, look. So yeah, just pop it in his hand. I do believe that they may have borrowed Winston Churchill's glasses from the Comic-Con one, though, which I don't mind, but I do think the glasses in the episode were a little bit blacker, or at least a little bit darker, than the ones seen on this figure. As you can see, they actually have the lenses which are clear, which lets you see the eyes underneath, which is great. This one does have an absolute ton of lines and things on the face. This is sort of what the Capaldi figure needs, just a little bit less, obviously. But this one, really well done. Even on the neck, we have all the different veins and things, and the mouth. It's just the way that it's done. It's really nicely done there. And obviously the forehead, we do have some creases on. Not too visible, but it's just the right amount of visible. And as well, the way that the glasses are on the face, these aren't removable, which is okay. You can sort of make a custom of it being removable, I guess. But yeah, they do sort of look naturally on the face, which I do like. And it's something that they've never really got right, especially with the Bracewell figure, or Hawthorne even, from the dark times of the 5-inch line. And then taking a look at the hair, I don't know what's going on mine, actually, because for some reason it has brown in. I don't know what's going on with that, really. It looks like he's had an accident, but yeah, he's, for some reason his hair's brown, and then it's got some highlights in there. I'm not too keen on the brown. I think it should have been better if it was darker grey, which I've seen images of, and I'm sure it is actually meant to be dark grey, so yeah. I don't even want to go into what he's been doing. So overall for this set, it's once again another brilliant release from Character Options. We've hardly seen any figures from the 5-inch line this year, or even the 5-inch line in general. So it is nice to have any figure there, regardless of what it is. Even though this is another Matt Smith, as we've seen in the Impossible set also, even though this variant is really nice, it is a good addition to the collection, and is sort of that final piece that we need to complete the line of Matt Smith costumes. So yeah, overall, it is alright. The presentation box is good as well, but for £30, it is quite a heavy price tag, considering the Impossible set was also £30 and you got a Clara figure in there as well. We sort of have to replace Clara a couple of heads, which, even though the head idea is nice and the regeneration idea is really good as well, you may want to buy a second edition of the set, which is maybe the thing that Character Options are playing at there, and I am sort of slightly nudging towards that idea, and the idea of having the older Doctor swappable heads and the combination ideas for the Impossible set and this version, it is quite a nice idea as well. So yeah, you can have endless amounts of different combinations with these products, which is nice, and I do think the products that do actually come with this figure sort of budget up there. But for £30, as I said, if you're an occasional collector for the Doctor Who line, you may want to give this set a miss, and if you're money reasons, you may want to buy the other set with the Impossible set with Clara in there, just for the sake of actually getting more for the amount of money that you get. But for collector's reasons, this set is really nice as well, and if you're a Matt Smith fan, this is definitely a great set for you, as this is the final piece that we do need to collect that line. And they're all really great figure and a great example of what Character Options can do. So thanks for watching this review. If there's anything that I've missed out and you would like me to comment on, please do leave that below and I'll be sure to answer your point in the near future. So yeah, thanks for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a like and please subscribe if you're not already. And I shall see you all in my next video. So yeah, thanks for watching and bye for now.